Welcome in, everybody, to the last regular season post-game edition of 410 Sports Talk for the season of 2022/23. And there goes Glenn's lights.
How we start. That's how we start,
Again.
Jimbo.
Jeez, lights out, dude. That's how we started the game. Offensively. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. I don't know what if any of you have history of epileptic episodes, please close your eyes.
I'm trying to block it with my body.
Oh my goodness. All right, there we go. Well, welcome in, guys. Looking forward to this. Glenn will be right back once his technical difficulties are over. But the Baltimore Ravens end up ultimately losing this game 27-16 to the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, the Cincinnati Bengals have now been gifted the AFC North. That's right. I'm throwing salt. Gifted the AFC North. Shout out to them. Just kidding. For winning the North and getting a home playoff game. But look, a lot of things to talk about in this game, starting with how it was played from like schematically, or who we had out there in comparison to who that out there, kind of how both teams viewed this game, what the good was, what the bad was. And then, of course, this coming week, we're going to be breaking down the playoff game, the implications, and then, of course, whether or not Lamar Jackson will be healthy. But I just want to let everyone know everything is set now for the Baltimore Ravens. We are playing the Bengals in Cincinnati next week. So Baltimore, don't fly home and then turn on, just hang out. No, I'm just kidding. Do whatever you want to do. But we're headed to the same place.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think the best way to do it is kind of go through it chronologically and how everything happened. So let's start with the inactive list. Let's start with the fact that
half the offense wasn't playing.
Certainly a lot of the key starters, but then interesting who they chose to play. But so Lamar Jackson, no surprise, doesn't go. Tyler Huntley isn't able to go. They called it a game time decision to end up starting Anthony Brown. But then Mark Andrews, who I think had this been a game of more importance, would have played. J.K. Dobbins, same boat. Kevin Zeitler, same boat. All three of those guys. I don't know if it's Jimbo.
What's up?
My light went out again.
Oh goodness, sorry.
So hold on. I don't know if it's just that they had some nicks that they wanted to make sure are healthy.
Right.
Or, I'm assuming that's what it is. But then also on the defensive side, I think Marcus Peters and Brandon Stevens got the same treatment. But were you kind of surprised that we saw Ronnie Stanley?
No, I mean Ronnie seems to be healthy.
Seems to be healthy.
That's what it is at the end of the day. If you're healthy, you're healthy. If you ain't, you ain't.
Put me in timeout, Jimbo.
Yeah, absolutely. DK's got it. And so, that was interesting because I didn't see a ton of players being sat by the Bengals, either offensively or defensively. Hubbard, of course, was a game time decision as well, and he played for them. So there was a difference in the way the teams played it. I was surprised that we had so many players out offensively, and we had essentially no one outside of Stevens and Marcus Peters, who we already assumed was going to be out defensively. So the whole defense was out there. I wasn't a big fan of that at first, but I'm glad we got out of there clean defensively. I was really concerned with when Roquan went down. I was like, oh my gosh, I was going to throw the remote at the television, hoping that it would transport itself through the television and hit John right in the head or just right in the Adam's apple or something like that. But either way, he came back in the game. So happy that we got out of there clean. Ravens O's Nation said, I didn't expect much emotion into this game with all the players we rested. Yeah. Wait,
I didn't put much emotion.
I didn't put, see, look at me. I didn't put much emotion in this game with all players we rested. I'm nervous as hell for next week, though. Please go into Cincy and get the W. Dude, this game did so much for me to relieve my nervousness.
Yes.
I'm not nervous at all.
Well, I'll say that I agree with Ravens O's Nation. I didn't put much emotion into this game. Like once I saw the list, look, the way I look at it is obviously the Ravens weren't putting 100% into winning this game. So I'm not going to put 100% into, emotionally investing into the game. So I got to laugh off some of the first half blunders. I got to kind of just shake my head and not be devastated like I am typically when they have those terrible turnovers or drives that go nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, to me, what I learned is that the Bengals are a bunch of front runners. I just don't understand I guess you can do it. Look, you have the right to brag. Like, you're winning, sure. But, like, dude, I just don't get it. You're fighting a guy with a hand tied behind his back, and you're just like, all I saw all game from the Bengals corners was like 80,000 dapping ups every 2 seconds. Eli Rotten Apple's bum self was like happy that he just broke up a pass from Demarcus Robinson, who got cut from don't get me started on Demarcus Robinson. And then
Jimmy's hot. Here he goes.
Anthony Brown Jr. Like, dude, how excited are you right now? How insecure are you that you need to be validated so hardcore about what you're doing? Like, do that and be that loud when Lamar Jackson is out there, when Mark Andrews is out there. Look, they haven't even seen Gus and JK and Ronnie. The universe hasn't even seen it yet, but certainly the Bengals this year hasn't seen that setup yet. And so all I'm saying is, it's going to be really exciting to see what goes on as Glenn's light goes out.
Dude, I got to get another light.
Yeah, something's going on.
The switch, the toggle, it doesn't. By the way, Jimbo, shout out to the odds makers. How do they do it? The opening line for this game after all the inactives, 11.5-point underdogs were the Ravens. They lose by 11. Sons of God. How do they do it, Jimbo?
That's hilarious. Sean Pisker says, tough game to watch, but I definitely think the defense played well. They played on a short field most of the game. They can beat this team next week. 100%, Sean. You know what? It was really hard for me to watch this game. If you follow us on Twitter, I'm usually the one tweeting most of the time, and I was really up in arms about this game because I was tired of all the front running by the Bengals. But once I got over it, it became an easier game to watch because I realized that they're just a bully. And once they get punched in the face, they're going to shrivel up and die. And that's what I plan on the Ravens doing next week. I'm excited that we're going to be there again. Same place we were at this week. I'm really Glenn, I tell you what, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm so excited because I feel so confident about us going into this next game that we're going to be on the road because it's going to be so much sweeter when we beat them on the road. And then we do the roller coaster in the end zone and crap like that. Get out of here. Like, I can't take it. So, Sean, I'm with you 100%, but once I got through that, it was like, all right, ultimately, let's break it down and distill this thing. I'm considering they threw the kitchen sink at us, we hung in there, dude. Like, we hung in there and played all right. Look, if Sammy doesn't fumble that,
by 11.
Yeah, if Sammy doesn't fumble that,
yeah,
we could have scored a touchdown and lost by 4.
Yeah, and I think Tom kind of is echoing some of this. He says 4 turnovers, no Lamar, no Andrews, no Dobbins, no Peters, third-string quarterback, and still only lost by 11. Also saw some good things out of Watkins. I'm so glad he pointed that out because, while Watkins did have, look, you're fighting for yards with the ball, with the arm that the ball is in is not the smartest decision, but I mean, I've been there at the lowest of levels in backyard football. I think we've all been there. It happens. But what we saw is from an encouraging standpoint is that the guy can beat he can win in a one-on-one situation and maybe pick up some chunk yards. And that's what was encouraging to me.
Yeah, he's better than Demarcus Robinson.
But even that, I mean, hey, let's not bag on Demarcus Robinson in the sense that we need the guy.
We need him. We need him. But I tell you what, if we didn't,
if we had to rely on James Prochet, who can't keep his feet in bounds, he finally makes a play, and the knucklehead wanders out of bounds on his own.
Dude, I don't get it, man. He's a walking penalty. But look, all Demarcus Robinson did was make mistakes today.
But he also made a couple plays.
Dude, and then at the very end of the game,
I thought he caught that ball.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought the only reason the ball moved is because he was just trying to pull it closer to his chest. I think he was trying to pull it to the side. I don't think that was I think that was him.
He caught the ball.
Yeah, but dude, at the end of the game, he caps it off by not running back. Did you see that? He's
then they were mocking him because when he got up, he does like the cross.
Yeah.
I swear I caught that.
Yeah,
Jimbo.
Yeah, let me just say this,
Jimbo.
Joe Burrow, or not Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon should never, ever, ever in life be able to mock anyone ever again. He will never be exonerated. I will never forget. So he gets to mock no one ever in life, dude. All right. JL says, this game made me more confident in the Ravens. Amen. This is how I'm taking it, JL. With Lamar, of course. Yes. I mean, you've got to assume that Lamar is going to be out there. Let's go. I will now lead us in prayer, please. I love it. I love it. JL, I am a religious person, but I am one of those people that believes that God does not care about the outcome of football games. Sorry, I don't pray for football games. I do pray often, but I just don't pray for the turnout of games. So I appreciate the faith, though, right? Like, appreciate the faith in good juju. Momentum is a real thing. Good, all that is there's positive energy, stuff like that, but appreciate it. Love the prayer, and I'm sure Lamar does as well. All right, what else we got, DK? We got another one up here. Oh, these are rolling in. Jaden says the defense gave me some confidence going into next week, but we got to clean up these drop passes. Amen, dude. Go ahead, talk about the defense.
Oh man, I mean, look, you can say what you want about them getting some. I mean, they're going to get something. It's Joe Burrow. They got some talent. They're going to have some plays, but overall, I mean, they scored 21 of their 27 off turnovers. Some directly, as in the defense got the score and didn't even have to ask the offense to do anything. We see Ajabo kind of wake up. It looked like that edge group because all of a sudden then we see the edge guys getting into.
Hey, what'd I tell you?
What's that?
Adafe was going to show up in a meaningless game.
Well, he could have showed up a little more early when he got absolutely. He somehow missed the sack twice in the same damn play.
I don't understand it, Glenn. Like if I see another tweet that says Adafe Owe was so close,
I'm so tired of it.
I'm just gonna just stop. It
doesn't matter how close you are when you never get it done. But anyway, he seemed like he woke up helped wake up that outside linebacker group. I mean, look, Roquan Smith, 16 tackles, Jimbo, 12 of which were solo. The guy was absolutely everywhere. Marlon Humphrey played absolutely fantastic. I think Daryl Worley battled.
Yes.
I mean, did he give up some plays? Sure. But, man, you talk about a guy stepping in for Marcus Peters and Brandon Stevens and fighting his ass off out there. I got to give him credit.
He showed some speed. He showed some athleticism. He showed some ability to track the ball. That catch-up speed?
Yeah. The ability to forget what just happened, and then you go out and make a play on the next drive. I mean, on the very next play, I thought Kyle Hamilton looked great. He was making tackles. Charlie Cole. I mean, there's a lot, especially on the defensive side, I think, to be excited about. I thought Kyle Hamilton was absolutely special.
I loved when he cracked Hurst.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Hurst was like, enough. He kind of got tired of the extracurricular, but toughness.
Well, get over it, Hurst. You've turned into a Bengal, dude.
That's right.
Like, what's with? I don't understand this one either. I don't get any of it, dude. It was like a 4-yard catch.
Yeah, and also, let's be honest. I don't think if you just look at the inactives and you kind of judge how they treated that, let's imagine that they probably went into that with the same mindset when they devised the game plan, and that they're not going all in. If they were going to go all in with the game plan, you think they'd go all in with the active and inactive. So I got to imagine they were holding some cards, and they still did this well. So encouraging on the defensive side to give up really 6 true points, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing, really quickly before we get to Quan's comment, is I totally forgot what I was going to say. So I'm going to come back to it. It's just Quan says
circle back. We're going
to that's right. Well, something else will trigger that thought, but likely must be on the field with Andrews. Ajabo must play over Owe. Our receivers, Prochet, no awareness. D-Rob, Butterfingers, Mr. Sammy, don't go down. I mean, look, likely's got to be on the field. We definitely want to see that. I want to see Kohler on the field. We just kind of talked about that. Ajabo has to get out there. Seems to have a knack to be around, being around the football, and finishing, which his buddy doesn't have, always he's allergic to it. But I mean, our receivers,
they're bad.
But it's really unfortunate that Kohler's getting healthy at the wrong time. Well, not the wrong time. He's better late than never. But could you imagine if these three?
Oh yeah, they Andrews, got the tight ends.
You know what I mean? Those three healthy. I mean,
Isaiah Likely, man. I mean, he's going to be a hell of a player. He already is a pretty damn good player. I just imagine what he's going to be, next year and the year after. He is going to be a problem, a matchup nightmare.
Yeah.
But man, the receivers are just frustrating. I mean,
and also, I mean,
I don't know if it can't be the scheme, right? It has to be like, I look at it in the sense that I saw that play where, I don't know if you remember, there was a play where Isaiah Likely called a 6-yard pass where him and Tylan Wallace are at the top of the screen at the snap. They run to the exact same spot, turn around, and look at Anthony Brown. Somehow it's completed for 6 yards to Likely. Later on in the game, in the 2-minute drive situation, I see them run a vertical situation, a straight vertical on the outside, and then they run a fade vertical kind of on the inside of them. 2 guys end up right next to each other, turn a 1-on-1 into a 2-on-2, which is obviously much more difficult to come down with the ball. Too many times I'm still seeing guys run to the same damn spot. I can't imagine that's by design. Like, I can't imagine that Greg Roman is that inept that he's literally drawing up plays where guys are running to the exact same spot and turning around. It's got to be the fault of the players. I can't imagine it not being. It drives me crazy when I still see guys running to the same freaking spot and turn around. It's like, no wonder no one's open.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I can't say I disagree, my man. Marco G says, lost only by 11, 4 turnovers and key players inactive. This gives me some hope for next week. But man, our wide receivers are atrocious. EDC, we like our wide receivers. Shake my head. I mean, that really just sums up what we've been talking about basically since we turned the show on, that we feel a lot more confidence going into this game. Because look, I don't care what anyone says. They threw what they had at us from an offensive perspective and a defensive perspective.
The whole game, they had their starters out there.
If Anthony doesn't, and that wasn't just that drop, the Demarcus Robinson drop. But either way, if Anthony doesn't turn the ball over an egregious amount of times, if we don't make the mistakes, I mean, how different is this game to, as far as its turnout? So look, you have to be confident with bringing the, once we get back, we had a full week to go.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it, man, because I'm telling you right now, Glenn, I can see it. You can see it in them. You can see it in the back. I loved the end of the game because Roquan was dude, he was living for it. Every single hit. He was up in everybody's face. He was playing super physical. You could tell they could not wait to get to next week.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of that, I want to propose to you a thought here. Let me tell me if I'm crazy. Do you think part of the decision going into who played and who didn't, and I'm sure it affected the game plan as well, do you think part of it was the thought process of, say we throw the kitchen sink at the Bengals, say we go all in, we play guys that are nicked up, we play guys that are 50-50, we give everything we got into the game plan, and we still lose? Like, what would that do? Let's say they still lost. They threw everything. Right. What would that do to the next week's practice? What would that do to the preparation going into the following? What would that do to the confidence of the team? Whereas if you do it this way, even if you got blown out, which they didn't, but even if they got blown out, and they got handily beaten, but at least then you can say, well, look, I mean, we didn't have this guy. We'll have him next week. We didn't have that guy. We'll have him next week. Like, at least it almost gives it, I don't want to say built-in excuse, but it gives the coaches and the players something to go, but we didn't have that guy. Let's see this week.
Right. It's a psychological. It's certainly because it's all house money. So it's absolutely psychological. And strategically, if you think about it, I mean, I don't think they've seen JK this year. So why not reveal the pace, at the cadence, his movements? Like, why do that? You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense to me either. So yeah, I loved it. I thought that was smart. Engineering Designs says 1, no Lamar, absolutely. 2, not even any Tyler Huntley, absolutely. 3, no JK, barely any Gus. Yeah, we got to talk about that. 5, no Marcus Peters, and we still put up 16. We're beating them next week. I mean, look, Anthony could move the ball on them. There were some seam routes where he was able to get some stuff up the middle. Kohler looked good. He looks like he uses his body well.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had a drop that I think if it wasn't his first real action, he probably would have come down with, and I think he will as he continues to acclimate himself. But I agree with them 100%. Really, this is what you're talking about, Glenn. Like, we have so many reinforcements coming back in this coming up week for preparation, where psychologically, because we are humans, the Bengals are going to be like, oh, we just beat them. There's no way that I don't believe that they're going to be as pressed in this week of practice, as sharp, as hungry as we're about to be in this week of practice. And I think it matters.
Exactly. And if they go into that game all out and lose handily,
and you're just defeated.
Exactly. Where's the confidence? So I thought it was a smart decision. I'm disappointed that we lost out on a good opportunity to have a home playoff game, but I still, in the long run, think it was the right call. And so let's see. Sean Pisker says, How much do you guys think they kept hidden for next week? Do you think they held any of the playbook? Absolutely. No doubt about they did. I mean, and I think the same could probably be said for both sides, but it looked, at least from my eyes, that the Ravens were doing more of that. And the Bengals could have looked at like, look, our guys really didn't have a game last week. They had 6 minutes worth of a game. We can't go into next week with, no gameplay. So I think that went into their decision making, but I think that they game planned more than the Ravens did because they had the opportunity to make it to the number 2 overall seed.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like to add to Sean's point, even if forget the circumstances of this game, going from your first to second quarterback, your playbook narrows. Going from your second to third quarterback, you better believe it's You know what I mean? So if Lamar comes back in there, Greg is ball and chain with his playbook into the next week. You know what I mean? He's like pulling it into the booth, and he's like breaking this thing open and dusting it off because he hasn't been able to use the entire playbook since Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But I wonder if we'll be able to notice the obvious differences in offense. That's the question. Will we be able to see
it better be noticeable.
Obvious improvement next week?
It better be. If it's not, it's an indictment on all of them that sat out.
Yeah, and Greg Roman, certainly.
And Greg Roman, yeah, for sure.
Tom says Kyle Hamilton might be our second best tackler on the team. Huge progress from him since the beginning. 100%. I think it's Roquan, then it's Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely fair.
I would have said Chuck at the beginning of the year, but yeah, I mean, Kyle has just.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm glad he'll likely be taking over Chuck Clark's role next year. And Chuck Clark's led this team in tackles for an entire season. So obviously it's a role that requires you to be able to tackle. And it's good to know that Kyle Hamilton's going to be in that role because, I mean, he's a special teams weapon. He's obviously a weapon on defense. He's going to be a phenomenal player.
100%. All right, DK, I think we got more, don't we?
Oh, yeah. I think there's quite a log here.
All right. Edwin Nevedo says, DeMarcus Robinson, Sammy Watkins, James Prochet, Tylan Wallace. This is our wide receiver group. Take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel.
It's something.
Yeah, it's something. That's one way to describe it. I mean,
the sad thing is, you're right. DeMarcus Robinson, I mean, to have that ball bounce off your hip and somehow into the arms of the defender, to have the blunders that he had, but yet we need him. So unfortunately, you can't get on him too much. You got to try and build his confidence back up because they're going to need him because you can't count on James Prochet. You just can't do it. Every time they try to, somehow he goofs it up.
Yeah, whether he's blocking, whether he's catching, whether it's a release at the line, he's a walking penalty.
And Sammy Watson's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
He's going to get hurt, man.
Oh, well, let's manifest some luck there. Hopefully he can make it a playoff run. Let's see. Marco G, hope we activate Worley. Solid number 3, Adafe. No way. I think that Worley has played himself into consideration to be active for the playoff game. For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Adafe, is this the first time I've heard Adafe no way?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
And it's even funnier because
first time
quickly,
I've read it.
In Spanish, in Mexico, you call each other, you say wait to like your buddy. It's like saying dude, right? Or fool is like the closest translation. Like, what's up, fool? ¿Qué onda, güey? Right? So like now, if you talk to I've talked to some friends that are in Mexico that like the Ravens, and they say no way, like, oh wait, no way, like makes it even funnier. It's really good. No way.
Poor guy. I mean, the poor guy. Maybe he'll turn the corner, but struggling. Sean says next week I'm gonna be decked in Ravens gear, head to toe. Absolutely. Have to.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm encouraged by this game, if anything. I mean, encouraged.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think the defense is going to feel more than prepared about what they saw today, understanding the physicality, the pace, the threats, the cadence, the tendencies and all those things that the offense has to offer. And when you get a crack at a team 2 weeks in a row like that, I mean, it's definitely advantage to the team that lost. I mean, definitely advantage to the team that lost.
Do you not look at it like obviously there's 3 phases to football: offense, defense, special teams. The Ravens have the better group in 2 of the 3. Now, that one is pretty big. They're a lot better in that one, and certainly from a passing standpoint than those other 2.
Maybe.
From a passing standpoint.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
From a passing standpoint. Rushing, I agree. But the fact that we know we're better in 2 of the 3 areas of football has got to be encouraging.
Yeah, for sure. And if you tell him, well, obviously, if you tell Lamar Jackson that Joe Burrow's led offense is better than him under center,
there we go.
he's going to, I don't care who my wide receivers are.
That's
I'm
right.
better. Like,
Yep.
it's just what it is, So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. I was waiting for this one to pop up because actually the next one, this one's good too, though. Doomgoy94 says, I don't have faith in this team in the playoffs, but at least we're on the road. Why do we suck at home in the playoffs? We don't get too many home playoff games.
Not many.
So hard to tell.
I mean, we did have one in Indy. I mean, against Indy at home.
Yeah.
Right? That went
And
pretty
we won.
well. That went pretty well.
That turned out all right.
Yeah. But I guess
have some faith. Have some faith, Doom. It all lies on Lamar Jackson's health.
Right.
This one. I want to get your thoughts on this. Go ahead.
All right. Tom says, guys, in all honesty, if you could go back in time, would you not trade Hollywood Brown for Tyler? I know and realize he wanted to get paid. Look, it'd be nice to have Hollywood in the moments where we don't, but can anyone say with 100% confidence that Hollywood Brown would be playing in this game?
Right.
If he was on the team. How many games did he miss this year as a Cardinal? 8? Something like that? Roughly 8 games. No, I would not trade. Tyler Linderbaum is the far less attractive of the positions, but Tyler Linderbaum has been absolutely phenomenal for the Ravens, and he's only going to get better and better. I love Tyler Linderbaum. Hollywood would be great in moments like these where we don't have help, but there's no guarantee he'd even be healthy. And even when he was, let's remember, fans are pretty frustrated with Hollywood Brown, with his inability to hold on to big catches, with his inability to stay on the field in general. But also, he's just not. He had no yak yards for a guy who's got seemingly has some make you miss ability, but he just didn't play like a Raven. And so, plus, it was out of our hands. I mean, he didn't want to be here. He forced his way out, and so the Ravens made the absolute best of it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I would do that deal again and twice on Sunday. Culturally for the team, like for the betterment of the team, as far as not like addition by subtraction, talent wise, he's a very talented player, but legitimately, in my opinion, I think we have a top 3 center in the NFL, and Hollywood is not a 1.
No,
he's not a 1, and he wants to be paid like a 1. He's not a 1. So,
and Hollywood is not better than Bateman.
Yeah, I agree with that. Bateman's been hurt, but healthy. He's not better. Yeah.
No. Edwin says 17 points off turnover and poor wide receiver play is the difference in this game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much because I mean, even if you look at the groups offensively, when the teams are both at their strongest, the Ravens have the better offensive line group. The Ravens have the better tight end group. The Ravens have the better running back group when they're all healthy. So the only group that's really, I mean, it's just wideouts is really it. And then you can get into an argument between Burrow and Lamar. I'll take that. I'll get into an argument with you, but it's pretty clear it's the wide receiver group that separates these two teams offensively.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. Sean Pisker says, "Man, I was so wrong about Hamilton. He's grown." I think that you and I are included in that conversation because everybody was a bit concerned. Starting to hit the panic button a little bit about Kyle Hamilton, and he's certainly turned around quickly. All that narrative has been stomped out, man.
Yep. Yeah, the guy's been, and I was critical of him early on. I mean, he looked lost at times in the first few games.
Passive, slow, not physical.
They found a role for him, and then he excelled in that role, and now they've been able to expand that role as he continues to learn the defense and become more comfortable. He's going to be so good for this team for a very long time.
Yep, 100%. DK, we still in the backlog? Yeah, all right. Kyle Rose says, Lamar don't come back rusty if he plays at all. Lots of faith and hope. Help me.
Yeah, well, I guess I'd rather have a rusty Lamar than a hurt Lamar. So I'll take my chances. I think he's saying if he plays at all, he's going to be rusty.
Okay. All right.
But that's fine. I'll take a rusty Lamar over any of the other options. That's for sure. And
to be honest with you, I think that rust gets knocked off a lot quicker than people consider it to. Like, I don't think it takes half a game to knock. I think a drive. I honestly think a drive. You get the heart rate up. You get run around a little bit. Dude, you've been doing this your whole life. Anything that any of us have been doing since we are since, we could remember any of our childhood memories, it's not going to take too long to like pick it back up again, right? I mean, it's just not.
You'd hope not. I think that him being back at practice would give such a lift to the offense that I got to imagine it would lift the play of everyone. And so,
Yeah.
especially if he looks good in practice, if he comes out and has a good week of practice and the offense is scoring in the red zone against a pretty damn good defense in practice, I think that gives them a lot of momentum and confidence going into this final week. And I'm okay with it if he's a little rusty as long as he's healthy. But that's the biggest question: is what percentage of Lamar's, healthy wise, not that's the biggest question to me, because I saw he was getting treatment on his birthday. Shout out for someone releasing video, so it's proof he's getting treatment. That way, all the speculation about him skipping and him being a slacker and all that stuff, at least for one day, can be put to rest. But I'm sure they'll kick it back up, especially if he's ruled out for this playoff game.
There's no way Lamar Jackson's not playing in this game.
No way, huh?
No way. Oh, way.
Okay. All right. I mean, look, if he plays, dude, I'm going to be so hyped. The defense will be so hyped. Like everyone on the team is going to be just so boosted from the news itself. And I think the Bengals, they showed they could be had today, if anything.
Absolutely. That was the best part of all of it, because it was like, it's one of those things where you get, like you said, lowest levels, but like first game, you're a kid, first game you're playing varsity and you can feel your heartbeat in your head. And then all of a sudden you're like out there and you're running around, you do something good and you're like, oh,
it's just basketball. It's just football.
I've been doing this forever.
Yeah. It's just what I do.
Yeah. These people are not like, they're my peers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think the Ravens got a little dose of that today. Like, yeah, we know we're professional football players too. Like, everyone in the media expects the Bengals to win this game, and I want it that way.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it too. I love the pressure being on them and the Ravens playing with none. Tone says, good start for David Ajabo. Just when I thought Prochet would do something good, he steps out of bounds. Yeah, I saw it right away too. I saw the hat come off the head of the referee and the flag come out.
Yeah. You just come to expect it.
He's just, he just always finds a way, man. And sometimes I feel bad because I'm hard on James Prochet. It's just like, man, he's just given so many chances and he just always stubs his toe in one way or another. But yeah, shout out to David Ajabo coming in with that he came in with that right hook, Jimbo. I'm sure Joe Burrow is going to be feeling that one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was impressive. It was fun to see him get there and then finish when he got there. That's exciting, and it's exciting news for us moving forward. So yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, Jabo.
Let's see what else we got here.
I think DK's doing the competition.
Got you. Okay. All right. But yeah, I mean, here we go. Laura says, what a game. I will tell you, Cincinnati's scared for next week. I had some lippy individuals around me talking trash. And they shut up at the end. 3 points in the second. Yeah, let me just break down that drive.
Yes.
Let me just go quickly through the second half drives and the results of those drives by the Bengals. And this is really why it's super encouraging. They start the second half, three and out. They punt. Next one, 2 plays, they fumble. Well, that's the David Ajabo. Then they go next drive, 8 plays, field goal. Next drive, 3 and out punt. Next drive, 3 and out, negative yards and punt. Next drive, 4 and out. They get 9 yards and turn the ball over on downs. Next drive, 3 plays, punt, negative yards on the drive. And then the last drive of the game, 3 plays, 6 yards, punt. So, I mean, they got completely shut down and just bullied in the second half. And so, man, I got to think that the Ravens defense is going to feel really, really good knowing not only did we did that, but next week we're going to have not just have Marcus Peters and Brandon Stevens out there, but I got to imagine Calais is going to play a hell of a lot more snaps. I got to imagine like the key guys who kind of ceded some snaps to some of these younger guys. It's going to be an all-in game. So
have to.
Man, I'm feeling really, really good about this defense going into next week.
100%. And speaking of our defense, shout out to Marlon Humphrey, who just went the whole season without giving up a touchdown. I just read.
Really?
So, yeah, super impressive, man. So Doomgoy's following up to his previous Super chat says 19 Titans, 18 Chargers, 06 Colts, 03 Titans. We won 3 of 7. This is the home playoff record, I believe, is what he's referencing. So yeah, look, let's take it on the road, dude. Let's take it on the road. Let's
Hey, we know we can do that.
That's right. I like what Laura says. LOL is a little lippy back. You get him, Laura. But look, just remember, Laura, that the Ravens have never been and will never be. We're not front runners. We're not. Look, when we're out there, we act like we belong. We act like we've been there before, right?
That's right.
Keep yapping your mouth, and it's gonna be problems. Like, or you let them know it's gonna be problems next week. I'm looking forward to it.
What have the Bengals won?
Yeah,
they still ain't won nothing.
Yeah.
Last I checked. Sean says, played football today with friends wearing your guys' shirt.
No,
got 2 TDs. Yeah, I knew you guys would bring the good luck. My man, Sean. Dude. Let them have it.
That's right, dude. We got to have a 410 Sports Talk touchdown dance, dude.
Dude,
we should do a flag football league.
I was about to say, we might have to at least organize one flag
like
football
a Thanksgiving game.
Dude, I'll get out there, dust off the cleats, bro.
Oh,
boy, used to be play a little tight end back in the day. Be out there.
There you go, dude. Glenn's good for a driver too.
Nowadays, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll get you a driver too, man. But it'll be a productive, at least first drive.
That's right.
Be gassed.
It's like lighter fluid, dude.
That's right. Oh man, I remember one of the last times I played, first drive I went way too hard. Had like a 50-yard catch. Was so gassed. Had a big breakfast that morning. I come back from I said, let me get some water. I come back from the car. I'm like, somebody threw up next to my car. Everybody was like, ew. I was like, me. I was so exhausted. I just lost everything.
Just got to remember, dude, you got to go slow to go fast.
That's it. You can't.
Go slow to go fast.
You can't make plays if you're sitting on the sideline about to faint. So
that's right.
Yeah, you gotta pace yourself. But
right.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta ask you one thing here,
Jim,
though, because one thing that had me running really hot was the timeout situation in the second half.
Okay.
I understand to a degree the challenge, although
you see John say "F it" before he dropped the thing. He's like, "F it." Like, really?
Like, I understand the challenge, but at this point, I just expect us to lose every single challenge. But to call a timeout on fourth down, when it was fourth down for the Bengals, 4th and inches, using your second, how the hell are we out of timeouts by the 6-minute mark in a game in which we knew it could come down to that? Now, it didn't.
Right.
But it could very well have come down to the fact that it could have come down to seconds at the end of that game where maybe a field goal or a late touchdown with a 2-point convert. How the hell do they end up with no timeouts again in a big-time second half? It luckily didn't come down to that.
Yeah, no, that was a perplexing one for me as well. But I have to say this. I feel like John is not Pete Carroll when it comes to clock management. You know what I mean? So I know that getting the plays called in and everything like that is kind of a separate issue to that. So I kind of took it as an anomaly. I know there's been some clock management issues, but John does pretty good with administering his timeouts, holding on to them, managing the clock really. He's usually ahead of so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Like, it was a tough situation we were in, but
yeah.
But Jared Ramirez, I like this one. He says the Bengals act so entitled when something isn't handed to them, they fold. Probably the reason why their trophy case is empty. Love it, Jared. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I mean, I can't disagree with you at all.
Yeah. I mean, I was shocked at the lack of that killer instinct, certainly in the second half. You're going to play all your guys. Like, the thing I don't get, because people are going to say, I know Bengals fans are going to say, well, in the second half, they took their foot off the gas, is what they'll say to try and kind of get to bed at night and sleep soundly. They'll say, well, we went to a vanilla offensive scheme in the second half. We didn't want to show. Then why play the start? Why play Joe Burrow?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the truth, then why are you playing Joe Burrow? Especially playing Joe Burrow behind an offensive line that just saw your right guard carted off. It's now on its third offensive right tackle. Really? So you're going to a vanilla offensive scheme, but you're still letting your quarterback get hit.
Yeah.
You're still playing all your starters across the board. So I'm not buying that they did that. I really don't think they went vanilla, because if they did, then why not pull out especially Joe Burrow at the very least?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. All right, let's see. Do you know how many super chats we are behind at this? I think this might be the one that we're the only one. I think so. Doomgoy94 says, lighter note, we are 11-8 on the road. LOL, love y'all. Love that. We'll take it. Talking about the playoff reference again, and of course John Harbaugh has been
crazy. So we're what on the at home?
3-7, 11-8 on the road, 3-7 at home. Yeah. Look, it's that underdog mentality. It's that it's playing with some pressure.
Maybe John looked at those numbers before he made the decision on who to bench.
There you go. Well, look, and even at the end of the day, Glenn, even if we do all of that, this is what I was going to say to you earlier. Now I remember, even if we play everyone, even if we win, we could still lose the flip. So, you're not even guaranteed anything. You're guaranteed an opportunity at a 50-50 proposition. Screw that.
But next week, we guarantee it's win or go home.
Right.
So let's play for next week.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Well said, Jimbo. Lars says, LOL, I have never left a game that we lost that I've been this excited, quite honestly. Yeah, that's very well put, Laura. Yeah. I think that's exactly right. I mean, most of the time when they lose a game, I'm like, man, I don't even want to watch the night game. I don't necessarily want to watch Get Up. And if I do, I kind of change the channel when the Ravens coverage comes on, because I know they're just going to bag on us, and some of this stuff will be uninformed, and some of this stuff's just going to make me go crazy and put me in a grumpy mood. So I just mute it or change the channel. But this week I'm not going to mind, because I think what they're going to be talking about is some of the same stuff we're seeing, and some of the same
let them sleep. Or let them sleep.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean? Let them sleep. If they, like you said, if they're uninformed, let them sleep on us. That is totally fine. Because there are a lot of people in national, they're going to say, well, it all depends on Lamar Jackson's health. And that's true, but they're not going to point out all the other guys that didn't play.
Yeah.
It's so much more than Lamar Jackson. I hope Gus gets through concussion protocol, of course. I'm so excited to have Ronnie, Gus, Lamar, JK, Mark. Whew!
And I think if Lamar plays, let's try and predict this. What would you say the ESPN, and you could even the James Haskell FPI index, what percentage would you give the Ravens winning next week if Lamar plays? And then what would you give him what would that percentage change to if Tyler Huntley's the quarterback?
Yeah. I think if Tyler Huntley's the quarterback, it's like a 35% chance that we win. I think if Lamar Jackson's the quarterback, I give it like a I'm a Ravens fan, right?
Yeah,
but I give it like a 65 to 72%.
Whoa. Okay.
I know.
Okay.
It's a sliding scale. You got
all right.
You know what I mean? But look.
All right. I say 50-50 if Lamar plays.
That's fine. Lamar Jackson's better than Joe Burrow.
Okay. If that's fair.
I just don't think they have as much bite as people think. I just don't think that they do. And I think their defense can be physically beaten on by our offensive line. I think we saw that today. We were running the ball because we have a third-string quarterback, and we still popped some runs off. We still got some things done on the ground, right? And then we were able to get some stuff done in the air. I felt like we limped along outside of the turnovers with a undrafted rookie under center. And JK and Gus out virtually the whole game. That just shocks me. And our number one receiving weapon in sweats. That's insane to me.
Well, then if that's the case, then why is it that, I mean, we all agree Huntley's better than Anthony Brown. Why is Huntley's percentage only 35, Jimbo?
Well, because with Anthony it would be like 10. I mean, it's 3 times more. Literally 3 times plus more. Like, they're still a good team. Don't get me wrong. But like, if we play heads up, we're in this. I mean, I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be exciting.
Do you think it was a mistake? It was a mistake to kind of game plan. It looked like the game plan was to not only start Gus Edwards, but to play him a ton. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? When clearly they could have gotten through the game with a combination of Kenyon Drake and Justice Hill.
Yeah, it was one of the most. That was dumb. Why you do that to Gus, dude? Like, what is he, a second-class citizen? Oh, JK gets to sit, but Gus is like, here, dude, you're the hammerhead shark today. Like, have fun.
But by that same, but you said, look, Ronnie's healthy, so is Gus. So play him.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I got to stick to my own logic. That's fair.
But I will say, they did obviously have enough running backs to get through a game. So why not treat Gus the same as they treated JK? Are they saying that Gus is the healthier of the two? Or they're saying
Maybe.
that JK is the more important of the two?
Yeah, they just like JK better. But I mean, that's been Gus's entire career, right?
Yeah.
This is what it is. So,
Poor
but
guy,
Glenn,
man.
let's see. Yeah, they don't want to come to Baltimore. That's for sure, JL. I mean,
No,
yeah,
don't.
they're playing their hearts out to stay at home. But Glenn, dude, once we get through these super chats, we got to get to this competition.
Oh my God. Hold on. My man.
I got Sunday dinner waiting for me, dude.
Well, I know, but my man Justin, come on, Justin.
Let's see.
First of all, go ahead.
Glenn, 2 questions. Bengals are better on both sides of the ball. How does Ravens come back into town and make this a game? Bengals are better on both sides of the ball. I don't know what football game you're watching. Second
Bengals
question.
are not better on defense than the Ravens. You're tripping.
Yeah,
you're
stupid.
Tripping.
That's
you're
just
tripping. Second question. Hold on. First of all, I know Justin. I know what he looks like.
I don't know Justin. Do I know Justin?
No, you don't know Justin. You don't know Justin, but I know him. My hairline compared to your hairline, stop.
Is it like the Bengals? Is it like the Ravens defense compared to the Bengals defense? Is it that different?
It's like the Ravens defense compared to the Edgewood Rams high school defense. My hairline is Jalen Rose compared to Justin's. My hairline is I'm it from the Addams family compared to Justin. So I don't want to hear nothing. By the way, hold on. I got a big forehead, but I ain't got no baldness, okay?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this just happened on air.
It's tripping, man. My man's tripping. My man's tripping. Hey, Justin, I'll see you later. I'll see you later, buddy.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's get this competition, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. The last regular season. Of course, we will have the competition next week, so fear not. If you want to still participate, shout out to Sean, by the way, again, who used his 410 shirt as his uniform this week in his football game. But yeah, let's get into this week's results, the final regular season games results. Let's just breeze through this, Jimbo.
Yeah, okay. Let's breeze through. That's fine. I'll breeze through. I'm not going to be the Bengals, you know what I mean?
Let's just zip through it. All right, let's see
down
the first
in this game anyway.
Oh, man. You know what? By the way, I was going to win this one, and you all know I was going to win this one if he doesn't get his bell rung.
Yeah, all right. So Gus Edwards rushing yards, 39.5 was what the line was set at. He got 16, so the answer was under. I went under. Glenn went over, obviously, based on his reaction.
I should have won that one.
Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. All right, DK, what we got next? Let's see. Over under. Ravens third down officially 39%. They were close at 37.5%.
This was a layup.
Yeah, it was still under.
It was a layup once Anthony Brown was named the starter.
Yeah, true.
Defensively, Ravens tackles for loss 3.5. This is what really lost it for me. I went over. I mean, I went under because I was trying to win one. And they went just over at 4. Yep. Just over. So close.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, what we got next, DK? Over under. Ravens quarterback hits 7.5. Under at 6 was the ultimate result. So what's next?
Damn. First tiebreaker. We have total score over under 40.5. They barely scratch and claw, get the over 43. We all guessed under, all wrong. So did it come down to the tiebreaker? I don't think it did.
No, DK said no.
But had it come down to the tiebreaker, I guessed 288 yards. DK guessed 295. Jimmy guessed 329. We were all way low, but Jimmy was the closest. They end up with 386. Thinks that's a bit of a surprise, especially with Anthony Brown under center. They get 100 more yards than I predicted. So shout out to those guys. But Jimmy is the winner this week.
That's right. I'm clapping myself. Oh, that's great.
You know, I got robbed of this one. Robbery.
Yeah, so well, DK, put up the graphic, bro. Results. Put up the graphic, bro. Hey,
Somehow, I love how all 3 other guys tied for the win. I'm the only loser.
By a wide margin.
We got one loser, and that's this guy. And the loser has the most accurate.
Wait, we have one winner. It has been determined by the competition committee, and that is me. Glenn, you owe me dinner.
The best team doesn't always win, Jimbo, and this is more proof of that.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at those numbers, Jimbo. Your boy was consistently good all year. Just, you know what? You got to love the process, not the results, Jimbo. I focus on the process. The process is going to work.
Over here? Wait, who am I? Freaking Hayden.
You're Adam Schefter. You're Adam Schefter. That's who you are.
Well, I feel better about myself when I take my shirt off than Adam Schefter should.
Dang it.
Appreciate the love, DK. Appreciate the love. That was awesome. And on Tuesday, of course, we will get to our full competition winner. And this week will be a special week because it's playoff week. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We're probably going to go live on Tuesday and Thursday, is my guess. Got a ton to talk about. We're going to get as much content to you guys as we can. And Tim Ott, this is not a weave. This is real, by the way. This is real hair.
A good head of hair.
It's real. So look.
Luckily for him too, because it didn't look good. You know, you growing up, you had some scares in your history. Like you look up and you go, I could have baldness issues when I get older. You got lucky, Jimbo.
I did. Appreciate it. I thank my lucky stars for that one. DK, we will have a special playoff version of the competition this week. That is so exciting. Shout out to DK for all the work he's putting in on this.
I don't even know what he means by that, but
that's right. Can't wait. Thank you, Sean. Much love. Much appreciated. Shout out to everyone that's been out here. Sean Pisker, all the incredible amount of super chats. Lucas Garage, Tim Ott, Just My Thoughts. Who was your buddy? Justin Maynor. Is that how you say it? Manor?
Yeah, Maynor.
JL, Laura Roten, of course. All you guys who participated. Jared Ramirez, thank you so much for coming out. That's all for us, but stay tuned.
Hold on.
We are here.
Sean says, congrats, James. Always next season, Glenn.
Yeah.
LOL.
That's right. Appreciate it, Sean. Next season, Glenn. You got it, bro. Next year. That's it for us, ladies and gentlemen.